Good morning, everybody. It's Friday morning. Let me see what's the date. April 22nd, 2022. I want to wish everybody a very good morning from here in Albuquerque, New Mexico, USA, the land of enchantment. The reason for the video today is because ever since I had that incident the other day that I had told you all about, I've been doing a lot of thinking. And I was watching one of Colorado Bigfoot's new videos that he posted a few days ago, and basically all it was he literally did a video for like almost an hour on this one certain tree in the middle of town, right next to this river. There was guys fishing there and everything. And as I was watching it, see the thing about me, the way I started this whole Bigfoot thing is I was curious because I had an incident that happened to me when I was 17 years old. You know, but this was like let's see, 65, 75. This is about like 1980 or something like that. That was a long time ago. And, back then, I mean, you didn't talk about Bigfoot and stuff like that back then unless you wanted to be a laughing stock, you know what I mean? Unless you wanted the homies to beat your ass down or whatever the case may be. But so my whole life has been something that has been like gnawing at me. The crazy thing is the same place that I had that interaction the other day, and the same place that I caught that picture of the Bigfoot standing behind my son, you know, and the place that I had the encounter when I was 17, I was actually deer hunting with some buddies of mine in September that year, and it was muzzleloader hunting. We went muzzleloader in New Mexico. Muzzleloaders is in September, so the weather's still real nice. After hunting hard, well, we had went for a week, and after hunting for like 4 days, we hadn't seen anything. So we decided to split up this one day. Anyway, long story short, I went and sat on this one ridge overlooking this valley, and my other buddies went and did their thing, and I sat there and I happened to notice something like probably like 800 yards away. I'm sitting on top of this flat top rock in the middle of the middle of this oak brush. That's what it was. Anyway, I've told this story. Basically what happened was I seen it moving around. It was, and I got mesmerized. I actually watched this thing for probably 30 minutes until my buddy came back. One of my buddies came back, and when he walked up on me, he said it looked like he thought I was asleep because I wasn't moving. But actually, what it was is I was fixated on this thing I was watching. I couldn't take my eyes off it because I thought it was a bear at first, but then the way it was moving, the way it was laying on the rock and stuff like that, there's no way it could have been a bear. You know what I mean? But my brain kept telling me it's got to be a bear. And yeah, Bigfoot wasn't as popular back then as it is now. So I to myself, I thought, man, that sure doesn't look like a bear. That's weird looking. That's why I couldn't take my eyes off it. So my friend, he snuck up on me. He thought I was asleep. So he walked up behind me and said, "Hey!" And when he did that whatever it was on that rock must have heard him, or it must have smelled his wind down or something. But what it did was it sat up because it was laying on its back. It sat up, and then it rolled off the rock into the shrub oak, right? And you couldn't see it no more. And then about a couple seconds later, it stuck his head up. And when it stood up, it was about maybe 3 feet taller than the top of the rock, right? Well, I don't know how big that rock was because I was so far away. So then it ducked its head back down, and that was it. Didn't see it no more. We made our way down there, and as we got closer to it, we found out that it was a pretty big rock. You know what I mean? A boulder or whatever. It was flat on top, but it was about probably 5 feet high and about the size of a pickup truck. And it was surrounded by a shrub oak. And there was clearly a game trail. Well, I don't know if it was a game trail, but it was a trail that led to right straight to that rock, and then it went out into the trees. So whatever it was, that was the spot he had been going there, or whatever. So, you know, I naturally I didn't say nothing to my buddy that I thought it was a Bigfoot or anything like that. Well, I told him, yeah, I'm staring at this black bear, but in my heart I knew it wasn't black bear. Anyway, as the years went by, I would think about this all the time, and every now and then you would see like finding Bigfoot or two, and I would watch it and stuff like that. But I didn't really start to get into this subject until right before the pandemic hit. I started watching videos from Mark Abel, Colorado Bigfoot, and the thing is about Mark, he You can't be thin-skinned if you watch his videos, because he'll hurt your feelings sometimes. You know what I mean? And that's what happened. I mean, he'll say, "Oh yeah, we're all idiots and this and that." And the first time he said that, because I was watching it with my grandson, I said, "No, I can't watch this guy. He's crazy or what?" So I switched it off. But slowly, my curiosity began to get the better of me. So I started watching him again. And as the more I watched him, because let me tell you, I went on a Colorado Bigfoot binge. I watched every one of his videos up to that he had made up to that point for like 3-4 days straight. You know what I mean? I mean, the wife was like, "Are you going to take a shower sometime this week?" Or, you know what I mean? That's how bad it was. But it's because I had this curiosity in me, and I had to find out what it was. And the more I started to watch the videos, and not just Mark, I started watching videos from other guys like Bronzini Bigfoot, Colorado Forest Beans, and stuff like that. All those guys. You know, of course, there is some people on here too, on YouTube too, that are full of shit. You know what I mean? And we all know that. And you know, I think we all know who those people are too. You know what I mean? But that's what intrigued me most about Mark, is that he didn't pull no punches. And I remember one of his favorite sayings, other than "we're all idiots," was "don't get caught in the human bubble." And I didn't really understand what that meant until I had that interaction that I had the other day in the mountains. You know, the thing about me is, you know, I've watched many videos from many different people from different walks of life in different countries and stuff like that. And every single one, you know, whether it was good or bad, I always learned a little bit something from it. But that's because when I watch a video, I don't just watch a video, listen to it for 10 minutes, you know, fast forward to the good parts and this and that, and then watch 5 minutes of a 30-minute video and then call it a day. You know what I mean? I break them down, you know, sometimes frame by frame. Because, and the first time it happened was on one of Mark's videos, and, you know, he was walking through the forest doing his thing, and I saw something move in one of his videos, and I was like, you know, so I backed it up, you know, I put it in slow motion, and sure enough, I seen this black head like ducked down behind some trees or whatever. I remember it's clear as day, and so I started thinking to myself, you know what? That's when I thought to myself, from now on, I'm gonna, instead of just look, you know, because that's the thing, guys. You can't expect to put a video on from guys like Mark and Bronzino and them guys. These guys, they've been in the field for a long time, and they've seen a lot of stuff, man. So if you think you're just gonna put on a video of theirs and you're gonna see a 8-foot tall bipedal creature walking through the forest, you're wrong. That's not how it works, guys. That's not how it works. If it was that easy, everybody would be doing it. You know what I mean? Like they say, you know, you see Gold Rush or whatever, and you see those guys going through all that hard work, and they don't make money, and they're losing everything. It's because if it was easy, everybody would do it. It's not easy, you know. There's certain people that are bred and born for that kind of stuff. Just like God has, you know, people for whatever, whether it's being a prayer warrior, if it's helping the homeless or whatever, you know what I mean? He gives everybody their own set of skills to help them through life, but not just themselves, to help other people to understand what's going on. You know what I mean? The reason I'm saying all this is because, you know, he did a video a couple of days ago, and basically it was all based around this one tree in the middle of town, right next to a river, right next to a bridge, and everything like that. And as he started to do it, and he started to talk about it, think about Mark. You know, let me tell you, that guy's passionate, man. I mean, that guy is passionate about what he does. So, you know, don't get offended. You know, don't get offended if you know, if he calls you an idiot or whatever. Because honestly, the more I research this and the more I get into it, I realize that, yeah, you know what? When it comes to this subject, we are idiots. We don't understand. You know, when the other day when I had that interaction, I was so amazed and terrified at the same time. I didn't know whether to cry, shit, run, jump, scream. You know, all I could do was stand there and like look at this thing and try to process in my brain what was actually happening. Because even though I know they exist and I've caught them on many films, people send me pictures from all over the world and videos and stuff like that, and you know, until you actually get out there in the field and you see it for yourself, man, it's just amazing. So, you know, I urge you, you know, even if you're like me, you know what I mean. I'm starting to, you know, I started a diet. I'm starting to get in better shape now because I want to go out there more. Because it's nice to watch the videos, guys, but there's nothing like being out there in the mountains and smelling that fresh mountain air. You know, hearing them birds chirp, hearing the water run in the stream, just being out there in nature with your feet on the ground. It's just something that it's hard to explain. Especially, like I said, I was always into hunting and fishing. So when I went to the mountains, it was for a different reason. Now I go just just to go, just to be there. Not for any, like if I see a Bigfoot, that's great. If I see a little person, that's great. If I see whatever it is, that's great. But that's not the reason I'm there. The reason I'm there is because when we're in nature, it soothes your soul, guys. We live in such a beautiful planet, and slowly but surely we're destroying it. I brought it up before. One of my good friends that I got into this with is from the Ukraine. His name is John. You've all seen his videos. He's the one who did the cloaking video, the Russian ghosts, and all that. And he's such a good guy. He's real young. He's only like 26. Comes from a good family. Born and raised out there in the boreal forest of the Ukraine his whole life. Started trapping with his grandpa when he was 7 years old. I mean, that's like a family tradition for them, and that's how he started this subject. He started making trapping videos. From there, he went to survival videos, and then every now and then, being in the mountains as much as he does, especially up there, because it's 800,000 square miles of boreal forest. I mean, there's no fences, there's no telephone poles, there's no roads. He has cabins all throughout there, and some of them are 300 kilometers away. It takes him a week sometimes to get to these places just so he could trap for a week and then move to another one. And that's what's awesome about that, because there's no fences, there's no barbed wire, there's no telephone lines. I mean, man, could you imagine if you were a Bigfoot or a little person? That's where you would want to live. You know what I mean? And if you are, John, you know what, brother? If you can somehow see this, I want you to understand, brother, that you know what, I'm praying for you. I hope to God that you're okay. I hope your family's okay. I hope you went to one of your cabins, man, and don't come out, man. I'm sorry what's happening in your country, and let me tell you, I think everybody in the world is seeing it, and we're all sorry. Why our country won't do more about it, it's beyond me, man. I'm not a politician, but I do know that I care about you and your family, and I want you to know that we're praying for you. I hope you're okay, brother. And as soon as you get a chance, please let me know that you're okay. All right? God bless you, man. So, getting back to what I was saying is, so he did this video on this tree in town. He started, and the more he started taking pictures of it, I started walking around it. I mean, with a video camera and talking about it. Little by little, I started, again, just like the first time, I started to see things emerge. And that's the thing, guys. Usually when I post a video, I'll have a picture on there, and I'll have the little things circled, in the picture, so you could clearly see what they are and where they are and all that. But on this video, I'm not going to do that, because I am going to post, as soon as I'm done here, I'm gonna put a little video I did of that situation that Mark did with that video about that little tree there. And I didn't circle anything, but I guarantee you, every single one of those pictures that I post, there's something in there. But you got to look for it. And I think that's going to help you like it did me, because you can't just expect to put on a video and see an 8-foot Bigfoot walking in the front of the screen every time. It doesn't work that way. These things are unknown to us because they have the ability to cloak, and to bend light, and whatever it is they do, the magic that they do. And I know for a fact they cloak, because I've showed you guys the cloaking video, and people have tried to debunk it, but they can't debunk it because it's real. See, guys, it's real. We have to open our minds already, because something's happening in this world. Something bad's happening, and I think that the reason we're in the situation we're in now is because we need to be able to help these beings, whether they're bad or good. It's not for us to decide. You know what I mean? We all seen African lions. You walk up to one in Africa and pet one and see what happens. He's gonna kill you, eat you, and shit you out. You know what I mean? But it doesn't mean that we don't want to save them, because what would we do in this world if we didn't have any African lions anymore? You know what I mean? We've all seen, in our lives, we've seen a lot. My life in particular, I was born in the Vietnam era. You know what I mean? Went through the 70s, and You know, saw the Twin Towers fall. Went to Hurricane Katrina in New Orleans when that hit. Went to Japan when they got hit with a tsunami in 2016. I seen the you know the war in Afghanistan for all those years, and went through so many presidents, and seen our country change and this world change so much, you know. And man, you know what they say, sometimes change is good, but you know what? I don't believe it's good, because my childhood, I grew up great. You know, I started going to school in 1972. Of course, my father had died in 71, so I didn't have a father, but I had my mother, and I had 6 siblings. I had 5 sisters and 1 brother. I had hundreds of cousins and friends, and you know that. And I remember walking to school every morning. You know what I mean? It was great. We didn't have to worry about going on the bus because there was some pervert gonna abduct us or whatever. That's not how it was back then. We went to school, and you know what? When we went to school, we learned. All we did, I played sports, but I had to get good grades in English, writing, arithmetic, history, stuff like that. There was none of this bullshit, like woke bullshit that they're talking about now, transgendering bull crap, and teaching our kids and our grandkids about sex and gender, whatever it is. I mean, when did all that come into play, man? Because I don't even remember having sex education when I was in high school. You know what I mean? And now they're doing sex education when the kids are like 8, 9 years old. You know, I'm very worried about my grandson, because you know he's a baby right now, and he's barely starting school. I mean, so I don't know. I think I'm gonna have to get school homeschooling, because what's going on in the schools is ridiculous. You know what I mean? But I want to play this video for you guys, and I want you to, like I said, I didn't circle nothing or anything, but I guarantee you in every single one you're gonna see something. So watch the video, go through every picture, pause it, look, and the more you look, the more you decipher it, the more you watch those things, the more you're gonna start to understand, and the more these things are gonna reveal themselves to you. Because you know what, guys, they are real, and I think they need our help. And at the same time, we need them too. You know what I mean? And apparently, if you're watching Energy Overload, or if you're watching these Bigfoot videos on YouTube, it's because you're curious. So do it with an open mind. You have to open your mind, guys. Just get out of that human bubble, okay? You know, I'm not going to say you guys are idiots like Mark does. You know what I mean? Because I don't want to hurt nobody's feelings. But honestly, the more you watch his videos, the more you break them down, the more you realize that what he says is true. And we don't understand these things. And there's a big thing going on right now with Bigfoot and all that. And it's time. It's time for us to come together and figure out what's going on with these things. You know, but the thing is too, let me tell you something. You know, when I went to that thing the other day, I was conflicted, because right now I can't help but think that thing, he moved. He's not going to probably be in the same place he was when I saw him, because I would move if I was him. And that's another thing, guys. You know, be careful what you wish for, and realize that, you know what, you know, when you go out to the woods and stuff like that, and you are lucky enough to find one, or whatever the case may be, you don't let nobody know exactly where your spot is or whatever, because there's going to be somebody that's going to want to go in there and hurt that thing, kill it, dissect it, just so they could prove that it's real. I don't need to do that, because I know they're real. And if you didn't think they were real, you wouldn't be here. You're here for a reason. So no matter what anybody tells you, what people make fun of you, because that's the reason I didn't do it for so many years. I was afraid people make fun of me. But you know what? I'm not anymore. You know what I mean? Because people could believe in gambling and drinking and drug abuse and sexual perversion, all that crap, but they can't believe in one of the most pure things on God's earth. You know what I mean? So, you know, next time somebody makes a comment to you, oh, Bigfoot this, Bigfoot my ass, blah, blah, you tell them, you know what? Hey, that whatever you know, that's what you think, whatever you want to think. That's why I always tell everybody, I'm not here to try to prove the existence of Bigfoot or you know, try to make anybody believe. I know the truth, because I lived it, I've seen it. You know, and just like these other guys, like Mark and them, you know what I mean? They know the truth. We know the truth, guys. You know? So, I mean, if you're in this for real, if you really want to learn something, if you really, really, deep down in your heart, want to know what these things are all about, then I suggest that you start breaking those videos down little by little and start studying them. And the more you do, the more you start to reveal, the more they'll start to reveal themselves to you. And before you know it, it's something else. Huh? Like I start getting people send me stuff from all over the world, like I say, and I bring that up a lot because it means a lot to me for people to do that, to trust me like that. You know what I mean? Because who am I? I ain't nobody. I'm not a scientist, nothing like that. I'm just a simple man trying to take care of his family in this crazy world that we live in, and at the same time, try to do something that I feel in my heart has purpose. So watch the video. I hope you guys enjoy it. Like I said, you know, you're gonna have to decipher each photo for yourselves, but it's all good stuff. And Mark, thank you, buddy. Another awesome video, man. Another awesome video. I appreciate all your hard work. Okay, you guys take it easy, and I will talk to you later.